হ্যালো গাইস, তোমরা দেখছো আমার চ্যানেল আমি রিত চক্রবর্তী। আজকে আমরা আবার খেলতে চলে এসেছি গানুসিন ইম্প্যাক্ট। তো গাইস, একটা জিনিস, ইন্টারলুড চ্যাপ্টার 3, যেটাতে স্ক্যারামুশের ক্যারেক্টার ডেভেলপমেন্ট হবে ওয়ান্ডারারে, সেই কোয়েস্টটাকে আজকে আমরা খেলতে চলেছি। দেখি গাইস কতটা অবধি খেলতে পারবো। একটা 1 আওয়ারের ক্যাপ লাগিয়ে রাখবো আমি, বা দুটো চ্যাপ্টারের ক্যাপ লাগিয়ে রাখবো, এরকম করেই খেলবো। সো লেটস বিগিন। তো গাইস, আমরা ঢুকে পড়েছি আমাদের ওয়ার্ল্ডে। আমাদের কাছে অরিজিনাল রেজেন আছে 18টা, যেটা ধরে নাও 10 মিনিটে 20 হয়ে যেতে পারে। কিছু ইনগ্রেডিয়েন্টস প্রসেসড হয়েছে, সো সেইটা আগে একটু আমরা তুলে নেব। 25টা জ্যাম এসে গেছে আমাদের কাছে, কিন্তু গাইস আমরা ম্যাক্সিমাম 8টাই আর বানাতে পারবো মনস্টার্ড হ্যাশ ব্রাউন, কারণ আমাদেরকে পটেটো ফার্ম করতে হবে। সোল্ড অ্যাট জেনারেল গুডস শপ, কিন্তু গাইস আমরা পটেটো নর্মালি ড্রপ থেকেও পেয়ে থাকি। সো নট আ প্রবলেম গাইস। আজকে আমরা যেটার জন্য এসেছি সেটা হচ্ছে Inversion of Genesis Interlude Chapter Act III। তো চলো গাইস, চালু করে দেওয়া যাক। তো স্যাংচুয়ারি অফ সুরাস্তানাতে আমাদের যেতে হবে। ওখানেই লুকিয়ে আছে ওয়ান্ডারার, মানে স্ক্যারামুশ।
Come on, serious suggestions, please. I'm not trying to write a thriller here. It's supposed to be an
Well, if it's facts and logic you're after, you shot yourself in the foot with your choice of research topic, didn't you? The Tatarasuna mystery. When so much remains unexplained, there's little to be objective about. Unless, of course, you restrict yourself to textual criticism.
Yeah, I want to write my.
Yes, you came to.
Did one of them just mention Tatarasuna? But is it just Paimon, or is it kinda unusual for someone in Sumeru to want to write a paper about that? Great! Let's go find out what this
চলো
Tatarasuna
গাইস,
mystery is all
আমরা
about.
চালু করব আর কানে গান শোনা। তো ইন্টারলুড আমরা চালু করে ফেলেছি। চলো গাইস, চলে যাই আমরা ফারঘানিকে।
Alright, I guess I'll go with my text. Ugh, if only we knew where to find that traveler. From what they say about
तुमने
him, this
ट्रैवलर
seems
का
like the
नाम
kind of
लिया,
thing he'd know about.
अभी सामने काका।
Oh, you're.
Hey, what's with that face? Don't.
No, of course I believe you. Actually, I first heard about your great exploits when I was still in Inazuma. This is my first time coming face to face with you and your mysterious silver-haired companion. I couldn't believe my luck, and out of force of habit, I started, examining the evidence. Sorry.
बोले out of
So
force
what?
of
For the
habit।
love of. Sorry, we
For the
don't
love
get
of
out
God,
much,
बोला ही
so
जाए।
our social skills are kind of lacking. Traveler, I hear you've helped many people a great deal and been to many places.
Actually, we don't know much about that place either. In fact, we only came.
I see. My teacher chose this area of research as a personal challenge. He said it's difficult to get into because even Inazumans don't know much about Tatarasuna's path.
If you don't mind.
Hold on, Sawada. Don't you think that's a bit of a deep dive?
Well, fair point. In that case, please ease yourselves in gently by taking a look at Akaba's latest essay draft.
Let me give you some background. But in the end, he threw it into a fire to destroy it and killed his servant Katsuragi. Why? Well, no one knows. Apart from the swordmaker, his servant, and the one who wrote this all down, the
Kabuki
records
mono.
also mention a kabuki mono. This seems to be an Inazuman word for an eccentric stranger, someone who dresses.
That's right. Akaba's teacher has spent quite some time researching these events on the ground. This Kabuki Mono lived in Tatarasuna for a while before disappearing without a trace. And shortly afterwards,
তো guys,
as Akaba mentioned,
নরমালি আমি
things
এনিমিদেরকে
got
ব্লাস্ট
pretty
করিয়ে
ugly.
থাকি মানে করে
So
থাকি
first this
গেনশিনে,
strange person
কিন্তু
goes
আজকাল আমি
missing.
নিজেই নিজেকে
Then
ব্লাস্ট
a
করছি
murder happens?
মুখ থেকে। Oh.
Seems kind of fishy to Paimon.
Yes, my thoughts exactly.
Inazuma is all
So I
about
helped out
fish.
too.
তোমরা বোধহয়
I asked
জানো এই
everyone I could think
ব্যাপারটা।
of if they knew anything about what
Yeah,
happened back
Inazuma
then.
is all
And
about
wow,
fishes
did I
now.
get lucky?
Stop shouting!
This part's important. I just wanted to make it stand out. It just so happens that a friend of mine works at the government records office. He
কি
looked into
করে
it for me,
সাওয়াডা
and I can
এসব
now
তোমার
confirm
করাই
that
উচিত
all
না।
the aforementioned individuals did, in fact, live in Inazuma over 400 years ago. Even back then, Tatarasuna was already at the center of Inazuma's smelting industry. The man in charge was a government official named Niwa. Curiously enough,
Wait, so there are two missing?
that's right! What's more, Niwa is a name with a lot of history to it. Have you...
Oh, the swordsmiths? Yeah, like Ishin Art and
Ishin
so
Art
on?
and
Wow,
so on.
yes. You really know your stuff. That makes things easier. So basically, this Niwa was a distant relative of the Kaidahara clan, the last practitioners
Oh,
of
guys,
Ishin art.
কাইদাহারা ক্ল্যান মানে
Something then seems to have happened in the Kaidahara clan, leading
লুপিন
to their
হচ্ছে
downfall.
স্টোরিতে।
I don't know the details, but taken in light...
The Kaidahara clan.
Sawada, you left out the biggest detail of.
Oh, yes, of course. How could I forget? Brace your minds, ladies and gents, for they are about to be blown. Or maybe...
Get to the point, for Pete's sake.
According to
appeared,
information acquired by Akaba's teacher, the Kabuki Mono was not a human, but a puppet.
তো গাইস সেই পাপেটটা এখন অ্যাকচুয়ালি নাহিডার কাছে আছে।
Aha! Judging by the looks on your faces, you do know something after all.
ভালো রকম জানি পাবলিক, ভালো রকম জানি।
No, Paimon just meant
I agree.
তাহলে গাইস এরা কথা
Oh,
বলছে
and please read my essay draft as well.
ব্যালাডিয়ার। সো ফার্স্ট পাপেট ছিল ব্যালাডিয়ার যে ওই
Sawada was
400 বছর আগে
encouraging me
ঘুরে
to follow
বেড়াচ্ছিল,
his more creative
কিন্তু
approach,
ওকে দিয়ে
but
কোনো
I
কাজ
think
হয়নি।
essay should be grounded in
তারপর ওর
facts.
সেকেন্ড
I
পাপেট
don't
রাইডেন
think
শোগানের
explaining
সেকেন্ড
everything
পাপেট
away with mysterious
প্রপারলি
forces will cut
ধরতে
it.
পেরেছে।
Oh, how about if I plug the holes in Sawada's narrative with political intrigue? Like, I could put a turf war between rival.
wait, you're allowed to just make stuff up?
ইটস এন এসে।
Sure, you've gone from essay to guessay there.
নাইস ওয়ার্ড প্লে পাইমন। পাইমনের ওয়ার্ড প্লেটা খুবই ভালো। নাও ইট সাউন্ডস মোর লাইক আ নভেল।
Akaba, look. Your teacher has researched this extensively. I've reached out to everyone I could think of. Whatever information we have now is all that there is to know. This is as much detail as you'll ever get. Besides, if the...
Good point. Okay, back to the drawing board, I guess.
We have some other stuff to do, so we'll have to say goodbye for now.
All right, thank you. If you find out any more info.
তো গাইস ওকে আমরা এখন বেশি পাত্তা দেব না, আমরা চলে যাব খুব সম্ভবত নাহিডার কাছে। ব্যালাডিয়ারের কি দাবি
so
এখনকার?
that thing they were talking about. Okay, then even if we did know, after all, we kicked his butt and got him locked up. Information about people like that is usually super confidential, isn't it? If you ask Paimon, Akaba should just pick a different topic. There must be as many essay topics as there are trees in the forest. There's no point in...
পয়েন্টেন ও ঘুরে বেড়াচ্ছে ছেলে।
Hey, did you see that? He literally just went by, over there. It looked like the balladeer. No, it can't have been. He got locked up. Oh, quick, let's catch up and see.
তো গাইস তোমরা কি বুঝতে পারলে? ব্যালাডিয়ার এখন ঘুরে বেড়াচ্ছে। আরো হায়ার ভেতরে আছে। ওকে, স্যাংচুয়ারি অফ সুরাস্তানাতে ঢুকে পড়বো আমরা। ভি নাহিডা দাঁড়িয়ে আছে সর্দি সর্দি গলায় কিছু
Traveler
একটা
Paimon,
বলবে
there you are. Nahida, bad news. We just saw the balladeer strolling around in public. Did he escape or? Ah!
Sure enough, you're here.
Hey, what are you doing in the sanctuary of Sarasana? I know you must have a lot of questions. It was my idea to set the balladeer free. We made a deal, and he's gonna do some investigation in Irminsul for me. A deal? Huh. You sure you trust this guy?
What did you expect? Why do you think Sumeru would keep me around otherwise? Or maybe killing me is all you can think about. But if that's the case, why haven't you done it already?
Don't flatter yourself. It was... Nahida said there's still some mysteries in you to figure out.
Ah, so if it were up to you, you'd finish the job? Guess I had you all wrong. There I was thinking you were just getting cold feet.
তো গাইস ব্যালাডিয়ারের কি বলে সার্কাস্টিক রিপ্লাইস কখনো কিন্তু থামবে না, এইটা আমরা গ্যারান্টি দিতে পারি। সে স্ক্যারামুশ হোক, ব্যালাডিয়ার হোক, সে ওয়ান্ডারার হোক বা হেড গাই হোক।
Paimon's worried about you, Nahida. Don't let him trick you.
It's not every day you see people questioning the God of Wisdom's judgment.
Don't you dare try to drive a wedge between us! As long as the terms are reasonable, I don't think there's a problem in making a deal. Even with the balladeer.
Well, I for one have no reason to doubt you, considering you even struck a deal with the doctor.
Yes, one in which I gained valuable information. You'll come to understand more about that in the fullness of time.
Fullness of time.
The balladier's
That's
power was
something.
all but completely spent
If
after
Resta
your
is
battle.
normally used হয়ে থাকে
He's
না
no longer strong enough to be a strategic threat to us. That puts him in quite a precarious position. Plus, he's a former harbinger with knowledge of many of the Fatui's sensitive secrets. Being stuck here in Sumeru could make him a sitting duck, depending on how the Fatui plan to respond. Wait a second. Former? You mean he's not a harbinger anymore? I take no pleasure in saying this, but it seems as if the doctor had no intention of welcoming back a loser, so...
Sometimes it's you using them, other times it's them using you. Most human relationships are this way. Certainly all the stable ones are. That's how it was between me and the Fatui, and also between each of the harbingers. So as long as you have some value to offer, nobody will ever abandon you. But after recent events, even I have to admit that I'm not worth quite what I used to be.
যত
Well, if the Fatui are gonna reevaluate my utility, I need to have a backup plan for myself.
As we discussed, I don't like causing harm to living beings, and you said you need protection. So, why not?
I think these two have made their objection to that idea fairly clear.
Yeah, obviously! Then let's put that discussion to the side for now. Today can be a trial run. Where we go from here will depend on how...
All right.
Good. Go now, and keep in touch. Nahida, are you... Yes. I have my reasons for this decision. In fact, I'm largely doing it for your benefit. Yes. As I told you once before, there's information about your twin in Irminsul.
তো গাইস ট্রাভেলারের টুইনে
Actually, that's the
নলেজ
whole
আছে
reason we came to see you
এরমেনসন
today.
ট্রিতে।
So, you have an update on that? Mm-hmm. You may remember me mentioning that the Fatui had not included... It's possible that the Fatui have other information that even I don't know about. And since the balladeer used to be one of them, he'll be better acquainted with this. He was granted the power to connect with Irminsul when he almost became the god of a new era. Even though he no longer has the Gnosis, some trace the amount of information in Irminsul is vast beyond description. Sifting through all of it without knowing what to look for would take too long, even for me. So I asked the balladeer to search in Irminsul for any information about the Descenders. Exactly! Or what if... Paimon doesn't trust him! He's treated us as enemies! I understand. But
So guys,
sometimes Everything is
ট্রাভেলারের
dictated by
কিন্তু
which side you're on.
ব্যালাডিয়ারের উপর হাইড
How
আউট
things will go in
এখনো
the future depends on
বজায়
what
আছে
information he brings back.
কারণ আমরা জাস্ট ওকে কিছুক্ষণ আগে
Traveler?
কিনেছি ওইটার জন্য
I know what your heart desires. Our minds have connected several. As Sumeru's deity, it is my responsibility to be on guard against the Balladeer. If this deal with the Balladeer can give you the answers you've been longing to find, then it's worth it. It's my
তাহলে
pleasure,
থ্যাংক ইউ
really.
নাহিদা
You're Sumeru's hero. You've more than earned it. Paimon's still worried about this idea. Is there anything we can do to help? I was going to contact you about that, but then you suddenly showed up on your own accord. In fact, I was going to ask you to supervise the Balladeer, even though he only has a fraction of his full power left. That's still a fraction of a former Harbinger. If you could accompany him, it would put my mind at ease.
তো
Of
ব্যাপারটা
course,
এটাই
I'll be there
হচ্ছে
to help guide you through Irminsul from the outside.
তো গাইস ব্যাপারটা হচ্ছে এরভেনসুল কিন্তু একটা ডেটাবেসের মতন সো ডেটাবেসে আমাদেরকে কোয়েরি চালিয়ে চালিয়ে ইয়ে করতে হবে আর এইখানে কোয়েরিটা চালাবো আমরা কিন্তু অ্যাপ্লিকেশনটা হচ্ছে আমাদের স্ক্যারামুশ
Great.
ওয়ান্ডারার
Prepare
ব্যালাডিয়ার
yourselves.
তোমরা যাই বলতে চাও ওকে
I'm going
সেই
to
মানে
transport you into.
গাইস একটা
Wow,
ব্যাপার নাক
it
টেনে
looks
টেনে
pretty
অবস্থা
different
টাইট
here
হয়ে
compared
গেল
to last time.
ব্যাপার আছে
Colors are
ব্যাপার আছে
gentler.
কারণ
Guess that
হচ্ছে
must be because
পলিউশনটা
Sumeru's at
চলে
peace
গেছে
now.
কিরে বুল্লা
Look
ডিয়ার
at that. Hot on my heels. You know, you didn't have to cut your catch-up short just to keep me company. Oh, but I guess you panicked when you realized that I might enter Irminsul ahead of you.
Shut your beak, jailbird! No way a prisoner gets to be so smug!
I understand
তাও
that
এরকম
prisoners
ভাবে
have
কথা
to put up
বলাটা
with
ঠিক
harassment
নয়।
from the guards. But right now, I'm on temporary release. So maybe you should think about backing off a little.
Sounds like a successful run. I need to be quite clear about something. In a few moments, you'll be entering into the innermost region of Irminsul. It is an environment like no other, and the most important place in all of Sumeru. Unlike anywhere else, Irminsul, I know there are many grievances between you, on both sides, but it is essential that you remain calm after entry. This is as much for your own safety as anything else. Fine. Let's go truce. But only until this mission's over.
Let's cut each other a little slack, shall we? We are going to be traveling together. Per my
Guys,
agreement with
Wanderer
Lesser Lord
সাথে
Kusanali,
আমরা
I'll be
ঢুকে
at the
পড়বো
front.
এরভেনসুল
It's my job to lead the way and get rid of any obstacles in our path. All you have to do is keep your pretty eyes
John,
open
তুমি হলো।
and try not to fall behind.
You sure are confident. Paimon will give you that. You make it sound.
If there are no further objections, or did you need some
ঠিক
time
আছে
to
ব্যালাডিয়ার
mentally prepare yourselves?
তুমি ব্যালাডিয়ার নও বকবক ডিয়ার এত বকবক করতে
The
নেই
snark on this gut.
We can start.
Irminsul access granted. Is this a small sapling? Oh, darn it! Come on, let's catch up with him.
তাহলে গাইস চলো আমরা একটু পজিশন নিয়ে নিই ঠিক করে কারণ আমি খুবই উদ্ভট ভাবে বসে আছি
Wow. So this is the inside of Irminsul. Ooh.
ও হো হো বিশাল
Paimon's
ব্যাপার
never seen anything like this.
তো গাইস আমরা এটা
Feels like a sacred
লিটারালি
place.
বট গাছের তলা থেকে
Irminsul is closely
ম্যাট্রিক্স
intertwined with the entirety of Tavat.
পুরো গ্লিচ ইন দ্য
Every bit of
ম্যাট্রিক্সের
information
সিনারি
flowing
হতে
here
চলে
means something. Pick
আলাদাই
your jaws up off the floor. It's time to go.
Why is it that Paimon just wants to do the opposite of everything he says?
Lesser Lord Kusanali, we will now proceed to the heart of Irminsul.
চলো
Can you
গাইস
still-
হার্ট
Yes. Permission to begin searching for
এয়ারমিশন
information there?
ট্রিতে যাব
Permission granted.
Let's go.
Hey, so say we did go running on. what are you?
I was just imagining the look on your travel companion's face if you went and got anything's possible in here.
গাইস বেলাডিয়ারকে ফলো করতে করতে আমরা কিন্তু এগিয়ে যাব।
These sapling things have spread out.
Those are all packets of information from inside Irminsul. Be careful not to touch them.
তো গাইস এই স্যাপলিং গুলোকে টাচ না করে আমাদেরকে যেতে হবে, এটাই হচ্ছে কথা। আবে টাচ না করে যেতে হবে বললি তবে?
It looks the same in every direction.
আমি পিছিয়ে আসলাম নাকি?
No
বারবার
wonder
দূরে
he mentioned
চলে
about getting lost. Huh. What do you know? He was actually telling the truth. Is he mocking me again?
না
Well,
কাছাকাছি
what
চলে
is it this
এসেছি।
time?
There's a time and a place to lie, but this definitely isn't it. So why don't you relax your guard a little?
তো গাইস হার্ট অফ এরমেনসলের কাছাকাছি আমরা চলে এসেছি।
We're here.
এবার আমরা আমাদের ল্যান্ড কেবল কানেক্ট করে নেব
Lesser Lord
এরমেনসলের
Kusanali.
টার্মিনালে।
Good, you made it. Are you ready?
Ready when you are.
Then please begin. Preparing to access cognitive currents. Establishing what...
এস্টাবলিশিং
Baladier's actually doing what Nahida tells him. The rest is up to you. If you discover anything at all, make sure to share it with us.
Will do.
Huh. For once, we're the one... Traveler, Paimon. Yes.
এটা কিন্তু
I've
টেলিপ্যাথিক
also invited
কনভারসেশন।
Paimon to join. What the? We can talk to each other inside our heads? That's part of it. Plus, we're all friends. There's nothing wrong with us talking like this once in a while.
তো গাইস আমরা মাথায়
Paimon's
মাথায়
never tried
কথা
this
বলছি কিন্তু
before. This is
বেলাডিয়ারের কানে কিছু যাবে না,
So,
না
I've
কানে
been
না
wanting to
মাথায়।
ask you something. Don't you think the Baladier's a bit of a walking contradiction? He's always talking back, but he seems to listen to what you say. As I've told you before, there are still some mysteries for him to resolve. Things that are clear as day to me, but that he has yet to understand. Perhaps today will be the day that he finds some answers.
তো গাইস আরে ভাই এত ইয়ে নিয়ে
Smart and attentive as always.
এত যাবি নিয়ে লাভ নেই।
So, you made contact with that part of his mind. Well, it's true. Betrayal turned the Baladier into the person he is today. Huh. Paimon thought nothing could get under that guy's skin. Turns out, he can get hurt and angry just like anyone else. Everyone has a history, Paimon. Even if you're a puppet created by the Electro Archon. Speaking of puppets, we ran into two people at the Academia today. If you
তো
mean the
এইসব নিয়ে
mysterious...
কথা বলা শুরু করেছে। ও
Oh, how interesting. Those two managed to deduce quite a lot through guesswork alone. So the Gase got it right? Well, they guessed right about one thing. Tatarasuna was sabotaged.
Must be a riveting conversation you three are having.
ও
Funny how all the good ones happen when I'm not involved.
What makes you think we're talking to each other?
Don't insult me. You're having a private conversation without me. Obviously, I must be the topic of said conversation. Of course you do. You can't have your prisoner knowing too much.
So...
তো গাইস বেলাডিয়ার কিন্তু আমাদের
Have you found anything yet?
টেলে থেকে
Still
থেকে
looking.
ধরে ফেলেছে।
Don't get your hopes up, though. You and your twin come from outside this world. It wouldn't surprise me if there was nothing on either of you in Irminsul at all.
Wait! How did you know about that? Did Nahida tell you?
It's not like we've never met before. And anyway, you're world famous. It'd be more surprising if I didn't know a few things about you. Right now, we have to keep the peace. I'm not interested in creating more misery for myself. And making cordial conversation is something I can manage. Huh?
Okay.
Wait.
আবার স্যাপলিং চলে এসেছে গাইস।
This light. It looks similar to those saplings. What could it be?
Anonymous data.
Hey, don't you forget the agreement. You have to share it with us.
গাইস অ্যানোনিমাস ডেটা
Just wait.
এক্সট্রাকশন স্টার্ট হয়ে গেছে।
Mr. Niwa, are you certain this is worth the risk? We are talking about Tatarasuna's furnace, after all. It may.
There's no one else who can enter the furnace. It has to be me.
Is that so?
It's...
Whoa!
তো গাইস খুব সম্ভবত আমরা এখন মেমোরিটাই ঢুকে পড়ব।
I have been in Tatarasuna for some time now. You have shown me great hospitality, as has Mikoshi Nagamasa, and indeed, under your, as I understand, the forging industry with crystal marrow as skills.
Yes, well, you allowed Akame to take all the credit for a method. Even now, you remain one of Tatarasuna's key consultants, working right here alongside us. I believe it is you, sir, who are truly responsible for the changes in our manufacturing and forging methods.
যার বাড়ি অ্যাকচুয়ালি
You
লিওয়া
flatter me.
সে চলে
From
এসেছে
the
আমাদের
outset, I
সামনে।
saw much that was.
So you say.
My good sir.
I tried to resist thinking it was all connected. Because what have we gained from adopting your new technology? Ominous black smoke? Mounting production problems? Worker fatigue and casualties are up and continuing to rise at an alarming rate. And recently, as you well know, someone died because of that strange filth inside the furnace. We've kept none of the people who went out to get help have come back. Now, our mutual friend, the Kabuki Mono, is taking the Golden Feather to Narukami Island to seek an audience with Shogun. This is our last hope. But that doesn't faze you, does it, Escher? Nothing does.
I'm just surprised that you finally chose to be so.
গাইস
Mikoshi
এদের মধ্যে
Nagamasa
ঝামেলা
ne-
After
চলছে।
all,
ব্ল্যাক স্মোক নিয়ে
Why, Mr.
ঝামেলাটা
Enough,
চলছে
Escher.
যেটা ইশিনার্ডে
I'm here because an evil force is
Significance.
raging inside the furnace. I'm in charge here.
judging from the look in your eyes, you don't seem to trust me.
Drop the act. We're past that now. I just want to know what you're still doing here. What's left?
গাইস কেসে
Don't
গেছে
you have
না
all your
গলায়
answers by
টেস্ট
now?
আছে না
Honestly, I'm just waiting for the right moment.
লিটারালি গাইস কিছুই আর নেই গলাটায়। এই
A moment
তাহলে কেটে বাদ
like
দিয়ে দে।
this, where you finish talking and I stop you from entering
দাঁড়া
the
কেটে বাদ
furnace.
দিয়ে দেওয়া হয়েছে কারোর।
You.
কার গলা কেটে বাদ দিয়ে দিল?
তো গাইস মেমোরিতে আমরা দেখতে পেয়ে গেছি যে গেনশিনেও
You're a
মার্ডার
little
হয়।
smarter than I initially gave you credit for. I thought I'd disguised myself exceptionally well.
তাহলে এসে এখন
At
নিওয়া
least for the
গেমার
first few
করে
days.
দিয়েছে
But
যেটা
to my
আমাদের
surprise,
মেমোরির
you had
অ্যানোনিমাস
your
ডেটা।
people look into my background right from the start. It's a long... And yet, despite all of that, you still fail to realize my true identity and what I seek in Tatarasuna.
Did you really think you would be able to see through my plan?
আয়ে দ্য ডক্টর
If you kill me, there's no one who can get inside the
Oh, but you're quite wrong. There is.
গলাটা কি করে
Whoever
পাল্টে
you're
গেল?
working for won't get away with this. They'll be found out.
It's no trouble at all. Patience is a virtue which I have in abundance. This is all part of a carefully controlled. If you must know, I'm happy to divulge my true identity. I'm a Fatui harbinger. Call me the Doctor.
তো গাইস দ্য ডক্টর
Fatui?
কিন্তু 400 বছর আগে কি করে চলে গেল
What do you want?
কোনো আনসার
Just to
নেই।
create a minor inconvenience for your nation.
That's it. That's why you. gave us your cursed technology? Just to let loose the evil energy from the crystal marrow?
Look how even the righteous. My device, it is easier for a. Make no mistake, even without you.
If you give him my heart, tell him that he has
তো গাইস এটা ব্যাপার হয়ে গেছে
proved to
যে
anyone.
What a beautiful way to see
Yeah.
the world. Think of me
But we
as
had
a
been just the
monster
doctor.
or a demon, if you wish.
টাটারাসুনার পাওয়ালটা
At
করেছিল
least this way your
এবং
death is not a consequence of your
কাবুকি
own
মনো
folly
যেটা
turning
হচ্ছে
you into an
ওয়ান্ডারের
easy
একটা টাইমে মানে
target.
400 বছর আগে
You simply lost to something more
তাকেও
powerful
রাস্তা
than you
থেকে
could ever
ভটকে নিয়ে
hope to
এসে
defeat.
ফাটুইতে
I
ঢুকিয়েছিল।
say, Mr. Niwa, let's see what happens. Will your puppet friend become a human? No, that will prove quite impossible. Mr. Niwa. Jester, I have completed the task you gave me, creating a gap and infiltrating Inazuma's inner workings. What fun it was. I'd like to introduce a puppet to you. If he proves useful, let's make him our newest comrade. And if not, let's turn him to dust.
তো গাইস এটা হচ্ছে প্যালাডিয়ারের অরিজিন স্টোরি।
Dottore. Good.
Was that the doctor? Did he turn into a mechanic from Fontaine?
He was the one behind the Tatarasuna incident.
Why
একদম
did we... When I touched the doctor to confirm whether he'd eliminated all his segments, I read this memory in his mind. You have to admit, it must be the truth.
Maybe so. But it means nothing.
Does it? But this memory shows that Niwa didn't betray you. He never meant for you to be the one to take the device into the furnace. You know very well what that means. Even more so than I. Let's give him some space. We need to give him some time to process his emotions.
এটা একটা ব্যাপার গাইস, সবাইকে ইমোশনস প্রসেস করার একটা স্পেস অলওয়েজ দেওয়া উচিত, কারণ কার উপর কত ভাবে কি যেতে পারে কেউ জানে।
Nobody has ever deceived you like that, Paimon. It's natural. So now you have the
পাইমনকে
complete
ডিসিভ
picture.
কিভাবে করতে হয় আমি বলছি।
Katsuragi
পাইমনকে
took the
ধরে
purple kimono to live with
দড়ি
the
দিয়ে
people of
বেঁধে
Tatarasuna.
ওর কাবাব বানাতে হবে,
Later,
কারণ
the
পাইমন
doctor
ইজ আওয়ার
showed up,
এমার্জেন্সি
disguised as
ফুড।
a mechanic from Fontaine. And that's when the trouble began. It was all a horrific experiment planned by the doctor. Everything he did was just to plant seeds of disaster in Inazuma that would bear fruit in the future. Of all the unwitting participants in the doctor's experiment, the balladeer became the main. After the events you just saw in that memory, the doctor put Niwa's heart into the device and handed it to the balladeer. Then he instructed him to enter the furnace and absorb all the filth caused by the smelting process. The load was far beyond what he expected, but the balladeer survived. He left the furnace in sheer exhaustion and said to the mechanic, "This device seems to have protected me. What's in it?" The mechanic answered, "Niwa fled this place for fear of punishment, but he left you a gift. He said it's the one thing that you've been looking for." He took it straight from the chest of one of his innocent servants. The mechanic removed the withered heart from the device as he spoke. The balladeer was stunned that such unthinkable cruelty had brought him the thing he'd been longing for his entire life. A heart acquired through cold-blooded murder is a cursed thing, but it has protected him from the filth. He thought Niwa had completely betrayed him, and yet this very betrayal had ensured his survival. Overwhelmed with anger and sorrow,
The balladeer threw the heart to the ground and let.
Holy moly. So the doctor killed an
একদম
innocent
guys.
man?
The doctor
and
killed
pinned
an innocent
everything on
man.
the victim? That's
ব্যালেডিয়ারের উপর
terrible.
সবকিছু ইনফারেন্স লাগিয়ে এলদোতরে কেটে পড়েছিল।
Yes.
So guys, first
Tator, you
achievement.
brazen-faced. Niwa didn't run from justice. You
So
killed
guys,
him.
first achievement আমাদের আনলক হয়ে গেছে এই স্টোরির। আমাদের কি নড়তে দিচ্ছে? নড়তে তো দিচ্ছে গাইস। এবার কাছে গেলাম, দূরে আসলাম। A while later.
Shall we see how he's doing?
খেলাবি না শালা।
You alright? That's a scary expression.
Are you worried about me? If we didn't have such a history, I'd almost think that qualifies me to be your friend. It won't. I'll keep my.
Hey, are you investigating the stuff we want to know?
That's why we're here.
তো গাইস ব্যাপারটা
But
হচ্ছে
unfortunately, there's no
Melody here
information about the descenders in
immediately
Irminsul.
stable হয়ে গেল।
Even if you can't find anything,
Hey,
that
I
seems to
have to
confirm it. Irminsul does not keep records on the Descenders. Anyone who comes from beyond this world is not counted as part of Tevat.
Oh, does that mean we have to leave empty-handed?
Don't thank me just yet. You look really upset. Well, since Irminsul was a dead end, I guess I can share some other
Huh?
The reason why there are records about your sister in Irminsul. It might have something to do with Khaenri'ah. Apparently, Khaenri'ah was her first destination when she arrived in this world. Plus, she only came to this world because the heavens responded to the summoning.
The heavens responded?
এটাই হচ্ছে কথা গাইস। Heaven
The jester
responded
told me
and
this
said-
himself. You can take his word on this. He was a royal mage in Khaenri'ah and lived with your sister for a time.
Jester is another.
I don't know the details. It's up to you whether you want. Did you get all that, Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Yes.
Does this info count towards my mission? It wasn't from Irminsul, but
Very valuable.
good. In that case, I'll take some time for myself now.
What have you done?
Lesser Lord Kusanali was right. My power's all but completely spent. Even if I use all of the divine power left in me, I can't sustain this shield for very long. I shared a secret with you, and now you owe me. So in return, I'd like you to answer a question for me.
Okay, ব্যালেডিয়ারের একটা
Give me
কোশ্চেন
your hand.
চাই। এইবারে ব্যাপারটা হচ্ছে ব্যালেডিয়ার কি জানতে চায় সেটা জিনিসপত্র আমরা কি
Can you
ইন্ডালজ
hear my
করতে
voice
পারবো?
and- No, I can't do anything like that anymore. At most, all I can. So tell me, in this world, is it possible to change the past? Done.
What the? What?
Nothing. I was just thanking him for helping me.
তো ব্যাপারটা হচ্ছে গাইস দাবিটা কি?
So long. I suggest you get yourselves out of here quickly.
Where are you going? Hey, wait up! Didn't you say not to go running off?
Fast reaction time. But I don't think we'll be seeing each other again.
তো গাইস
From this day
ব্যালেডিয়ার
forth,
ঢুকে গেছে।
the names Balladeer and Kabukimono will cease to exist. Those who died in Tatarasuna because of me deserve another chance at life.
Hey, Balladeer!
You know, I never did like insects. Hordes of the puny things swarming together can be a real nuisance. And I enjoy nothing more than to stamp them out like the pests that. But if a colony of.
Balladeer! Balladeer! Uh-oh, he...
তো গাইস ব্যালেডিয়ার ঢুকে পড়েছে আর্মিনসোল ট্রিতে যাতে ও পাস্টকে চেঞ্জ করতে পারে। কিন্তু গাইস টেভেট পার্টিকুলারলি টেভেট নয় কিন্তু
He's really gone!
ইন জেনারেল তুমি যদি পাস্ট চেঞ্জ
Can
করো
you hear me?
Nahida!
Traveler, Paimon, Balladeer, What happened just now?
তাহলে
I was
কিন্তু
suddenly cut off by some
নেগেটিভ
kind of
ইমপ্যাক্ট
power.
অনেক বেশি পড়ে।
It was the Balladeer's fault.
I didn't think he'd be capable of something like that. Did he keep some of his power hidden when he was defeated? Or
Where the heck did he go?
don't be. It's not your fault. Please, let me handle this from here. Even we're running out of time. Follow my lead and get out of
তাহলে গাইস ফার্স্ট অফ অল আমাদের এডভেঞ্চার ট্রি থেকে যত দূরে পারা যায় কেপি হতে হবে। তো আমরা কেপি হয়ে কিন্তু চলে এসেছি।
An inn or something?
আমরা কি ঠিক
This is an
জায়গায়?
emergency. I'll have to ask you to stay here for now. Everything's arranged, and nobody will disturb you. I'm sorry, but
An emergency?
don't worry.
Her voice has gone. Paimon can't shake the feeling that something really big has happened.
Greater Lord Rukarewata and the Balladier's question.
He wants to change the past? But surely that's impossible. Right! You can't just rewrite history. All that stuff, it's like, imagine Paimon drank all the water in this inn. Even if no one was there to see it, Paimon would sure as heck remember drinking it. So, Paimon's so confused. Huh?
Eh, ভেঙে দিল।
Sorry, Paimon accidentally. But erasing yourself from history? It's unthinkable. Is that really possible in
তা হয় পাইমন তা হয়।
I've had it with that little brat. He's been nothing but trouble ever since we met. There's no way he'll actually.
তো গাইস পাইমন এখন পাগল হয়ে গেছে, কারণ পাইমন
There's nothing we
লাইট
can do
হেডেড
about it
পাবলিক।
at this point.
ওকে যদি ভাবতে দিয়ে দেওয়া হয়
Have you got
পাইমন
any
হয়ে
ideas
যায়
on what we
পাগল।
should do next? Seems like now there's nothing left for us to do but to go to sleep.
ভাবো
But
অসাধারণ,
Paimon's still so worried.
এত
So,
ওয়ারিড যে ঘুমিয়েই পড়লো
how
পাইমন,
about,
অসাধারণ।
Alright, Paimon will start. First dish. Munstack grilled fish. Oh, and chicken mushroom skewers. Tea break pancakes. Cream stew. Sauteed matsutake. And Dragon chili chicken. Almond tofu. Also Adeptus Temptation. Golden shrimp balls.
আরে
Triple
ভাই
layered
পাইমন
concept.
থাম ভাই, এত কিছু খাওয়া যায় না। পাইমন হোটেলের মেনু বলছিল না কি বলছিল কেউ ধরতে পারবে না।
Paimon was, talking?
পাইমন ঘেটে চুলচির হয়ে গেছে।
Paimon's a, The Balladeer? Is that a food too?
সঙ্গে আছে ভেটে যাবে না তো আর কি হবে।
তো গাইস ব্যালাডিয়ার ইজ সাকসেসফুল, ব্যালাডিয়ার হিস্ট্রি থেকে নিজের নাম মুছে দিয়েছে।
What's wrong? Your eyes are like saucers. Was it something? So, the Balladeer. Is that someone's name? 'Cause it sounds like a nickname or something. Okay, sure. Where are we going? Huh?
We are going back to
Fine by
Inversion,
Paimon, but is everything okay? You're acting like this.
গাইস আমরা খালি ফার্স্ট কোয়েস্ট লাইন আপটাই শেষ করতে পেরেছি, যেটা হচ্ছে নাইট বার্ড ফলস অ্যাট দ্য কার্টেন্স কল। আমরা আজকে রাখবো এইটুকুই। মিস্ট্রি অফ টাটারাসুনার অ্যাচিভমেন্টটা ক্লেম করে। এবারে গাইস ব্যাপারটা হচ্ছে যে আমিও বুঝতে পারছি অনেকটা টাইম লাগবে এটাকে সলভ করতে। তো আজকে আমরা রেখে দেবো এইটুকুই। দেখা হচ্ছে নেক্সট ভিডিওতে। সাবস্ক্রাইব করো, কারণ এগুলোর পার্ট 1 মানে এটা পার্ট 1 হলো, পার্ট 2 আসবেই কালকে। সো সাবস্ক্রাইব অ্যান্ড স্টে টিউনড। আর ভ্যালেডিয়ারের ক্যাপাবিলিটি যদি তোমার ভালো লেগে থাকে তাহলে লাইক করে দিও আর কমেন্ট করে জানিও যে ভ্যালেডিয়ারের কি সিগনিফিকেন্স আছে হিস্ট্রি ডিলিট করায়, কারণ ওর কিন্তু ডিভাইন পাওয়ার কমে গেছিল। সো থ্যাংক ইউ গাইজ, আজকে রাখছি আমরা এটুকুই। #বাই।